So the first lien HELOC will come in and pay off your mortgage and get you out of that ridiculous interest that you're paying on the mortgage right now. Plus, it will give you.
Will I get approved for that, you think?
I don't know why you wouldn't. You have a good income. Do you know your credit score?
Yeah, I think I just checked and FICO was almost to 800.
Okay, yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't.
And what is like a first, like you can actually borrow enough to like pay for the house on it?
Yes, and it will give you, so it's 90% of your value, which for you would be 243. If it appraises for more, that'd be even better.
Okay.
Meaning that you would then have 27,000 to come in and pay off, whatever you want to pay off, which probably would be most of your cars, so that you could gain almost $1,000 there too.
Now I have a question about that. I was wondering if I should prioritize some of the student loans because there's like either $10,000 or $15,000 in interest that is now compounding because we couldn't pay payments for a while before they froze it for the COVID. Like my husband was sick and I was not doing well in my job. And so like it was just also even like the plus loans they were giving out at the time were hideous. Like they were like, oh no, you can borrow it at 8% and we're going to start charging you interest. So I'm kind of debating, is that better to attack so that we don't just start mushrooming?
Well, let's look at it and see here. That's what we're going to be working with.
Okay.
So if you were to pay off your home and most of your cars, which we would work that out where they would be completely paid off in the first month. That means that you're going to gain the $2,125 you're paying in your mortgage payment and the $1,015 that you're paying in car payments.
And then the mortgage payment is also including taxes and PMI and all that jazz.
Well, the PMI will go away.
Right, because we'll have enough equity, right?
Well, you're paying it off.
Right. Oh, cool.
They don't do PMI in first liens.
Oh.
So 3140 would be your cash flow gained, and you already have about 2,600 in cash flow now. So 5754, you'd have this paid off in about 50 months. Now, this would pay off your home and your cars, but the thing is with these first liens, you have a line of credit, okay? So your total would start at 243 approximately because you're going to be paying off everything. But what happens is every 5 months, you're going to be paying off $20,000 at least. So you will be taking 20,000 out of this every 6 months and paying off now those student loans one at a time to where you could be out of them pretty quickly. Did you owe 156,000? So in about six $25,000 chunks, that would be paid off.
Wow.
Yeah. So about
That's
3
crazy.
years. Yeah. You have a really easy situation. Now that didn't include your commission chunks. So imagine how fast you could really move through it. Once you just need a true line of credit, one that is going to allow you income in, expenses out. You don't have the house payment, you don't have the car payment. So all of that's just sitting in here working your balance down every month.
Wow. So in other words, it's like we pay off the loan and then that's what I put my paychecks into, which satisfies the mortgage / car Uber payment. And then you work on all the other things.
Yes. Do you realize that very first interest payment on the line of credit is going to be less than you're paying in your mortgage right now? So that's going to come down every single month because you're reducing the balance of the first lien HELOC, which is going to reduce how much interest that you're paying. So you are on an average going to be paying about $900 a month in interest instead of probably $1,200 to $1,500 a month you're paying right now. So when you take the payment, and you will, when your taxes and insurance are due on the home, you will take that out of here as well and pay them. You're just letting all of that sit in here until that year comes around for you to pay those two payments.
Okay. So in other words, they would no longer be like escrowed?
Right.
Because, okay. All right. Interesting.
It'll just sit in this account until it's time to pay it, and you just write a check out and pay it.
Wow. So the first lien HELOC is simple interest and wow.
Simple interest, yes. Interest is charged on the average daily balance. So the more you put in, and that's what I said, if you have a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 chunk, you throw it into here, it's really going to reduce the balance.
Crushes that interest.
Yeah, and you're going to be able to pull right back out and use it as you needed.
Wow.
So all income goes in. Let's say you make $10,000 to $57.33. Your average daily balance is going to come off of your high and your low. They're going to charge interest on the next statement date, but you're just income in, expenses out. You keep paying your payments like you are right now with your student loans, but you're going to be able, if this is handled correctly, without your commission checks, you should be paying off up to $50,000 a year in debt. Very close.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it too, it's like if I was telling my husband, like, oh my gosh, if I could get like Toyota or one of my big accounts to do something huge, like I had a friend literally at this company, my friend's like, if you do this the right way, like if you can get something big going, you can have like $1 million a year. I was like, what? Like, how is that possible? Because, you know, you can work your butt off at places and sales and just, you don't have the right product at the right time. It's just not, or the right accounts, and it couldn't happen. I don't know if I have that kind of opportunity, but I definitely have something decent.
Why? Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's definitely decent. So like if these, like this chunk that I'm going to get in October, if it's like 27,000, the best thing is to put it into the first lien HELOC. So that should be my first step, not using this HELOC, the line of credit that I have now, the PLOC.
You can start with that. You sure can while you're waiting on this one to get set up. But I mean, if I had your situation right now, I would pay off the Toyota Highlander with the 20,000.
Okay.
Let me show you what that looks like so that you can start.
Because I was thinking, oh, that's low interest and that's not as much of a problem. Is it just sort of the snowball idea that you just get rid of the things here?
It's sort of getting the cash flow so that you're because what that looks like, if you have 15,757, now this interest rate on the personal line is very high too.
It is.
Okay. So 15,737 times 13%, you're talking about $171 in interest.
Right.
All right. So if we use it, well, it would be very easy because if you're, let me show you. Okay. If you put in your regular income, and so let's say it's 9,000, and then you get whatever commission, you're going to pay this off. Right. So the point is that you've paid off that one car in 1 month doing nothing but just throwing it into a line of credit.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not crazy. What we've been doing is crazy. And it kind of makes me mad. Like when you get mad in your videos and I'm like, you know, you're right. It's so ridiculous because I can't tell you, there have been times I felt so desperate and sad. Like when I didn't have as positive of a financial outlook, and it really took a toll on my health and my well-being. And I got very sad and despondent.
No doubt. We all did.
Yeah.
So that would bring your cash flow up to 3165. Without your chunk, you're going to pay this off in less than, it'll be a 3-month payoff.
Wow.
For that vehicle. If you get your commission check, of course, it would go in and pay it off. Then you're going to turn right around and pay off your RAV4.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
So let's imagine that you got 6928 and you went ahead and paid this off to zero balance. Now you grab your 16,487 on the RAV4, pay it off. Now you've gained $450 more in cash flow.
Right.
So see, you've done all of this in 1 month.
Holy Toledo.
So now should be by the end of, if you're working on the first lien, you could be going ahead and getting that set up while you're doing this. In a month and a half, you're going to have the big fund now that you're going to pay your home off with. And then you really get serious because now you're really rolling money in there.
All right. Well, you take care and perhaps we'll talk again, but I'll definitely be continue to follow and everything.
All right. I appreciate that. Let me know if you have any questions you forgot to ask or if anything comes up, feel free to email me.
I appreciate that, Christy.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.